everybody, and I'm here finally with my review of Spellslinger by Sebastian De Castell. Ow, that hurt. This is going to be a full review. There's going to be no spoilers whatsoever, so you're welcome. So like I said, this book is by Sebastian De Castell. This is the first in a series. I actually don't know if it's a trilogy or a series. I should have done research, but you know, could be a duology for all I know. All I do know is that the second one is already out, so there you go. I picked this book up purely because of the cover. Yeah, I mean, it just caught my attention, so I bought it, and I was like, wow, this cover is so pretty. And it's got to do with magic, and anything that has magic in it, I will probably like because it's magic, and I did like this book, but I'm gonna get further into that later. So there's gonna be no spoilers, no discussion, so pure review of this book. If you've never heard of it before, I'm giving it to you now. So without further ado, let's get into it. So basically this book is set in a fictional world where, well, it's a pretty big world, and I would explain a bit more about it, but I just tried to, and I got kind of confused because this book could do with a map. That's all I'm gonna say. But I will say this, is that there is some like ancient Egyptian type imagery. Just some of the names sound like kind of ancient Egyptian-y. You got like the House of Ra, certain character names when you become a mage sounds Egyptian-y. But other than that, that's just all I'm gonna say. Yeah, I really did try to explain what this world would look like, but I really can't. It needs a map. Obviously, it makes more sense when you read it, but as of now, I can't explain it to you. All I will say, it's set in a fictional world, and yeah. So the book follows a people called the Jan Tep, and basically the Jan Tep are people who can perform magic, or like a type of magic. There are other magic type users in this world, but these are the ones who perform it this certain way. They're like a tribes people. But there's also these people called the Shah Tep, who are Jan Tep, but they don't have magic. And I'll get onto that later. Basically, everyone, when they're a young child, are tattooed on their arms, much like as you can see here. Each tattoo represents 6 of the, obviously I can't math, 6 of the types of magic that these people use, which are iron, silk, sand, breath, blood, and ember. Now there's a 7th one called shadow, but we don't talk about that one. And basically these bands are imbued, or these tattoos, with magic. And so what you're supposed to do before you turn 16 is have broken at least 1 or 2 of the bands, and that will be the magic that you use. So breath is more like air type magic. Ember is obviously fire type magic. But if you've broken both air and breath, you can combine the 2 powers and create better magic for it. So some of the types of magic do coincide with each other well. So if you break one and then another, you can combine them to create something better, if that makes sense. And by I mean break, well, in my head I imagined it like, because the tattoos are magic themselves, it is a magic book, so in my head I imagined it like when they broke, they start moving and glimmering more, and you can start using that power. Like they're a bit dull on your skin, but when you break them, they become bright and start moving on your arm. That's what I mean by breaking it. And they don't use shadow, which isn't a good magic. It's like a demonic type magic, so no one has that on their arms. They don't use it. It's bad. It's like blood magic and all that stuff. So yeah, no one tattoos that on their kid, okay? So I was saying before that there are another type of people called the Shah Tep. Now these people are the ones who don't have magic. They weren't able to break their bands, so they don't have magic whatsoever. And basically, in this little world, if you don't have magic, you're basically the lowest of the low. It's not good to become a Shah Tep. They're treated like slaves, they're servants, they have to like treat the Jantep as like higher than them, even though if it's like your sibling, they are treated just with the uttermost disrespect. And yeah, they're basically the cooks, the shop owners, the like tailors, the everything, and they live in slums, so it's great. So that's just that world. If you got magic, good for you. If you don't have magic, you know, tough luck. So this story follows a 15-year-old Kellen who is just about to turn 16 and has to perform his Mage trials, which is basically a trial that all Jantep have to do to become a fully done magician. Like, they get a magician's name or a mage name, they can use their powers, and yeah. But here's the thing, here's the little hooly-doo of the story. Kellen hasn't broken any of his bands. His younger sister has. She has broken 3 of them. She's like a prodigy, of course. And his father is a very, very famous mage. He is really, really powerful. But Kellen can't do magic outside of the oasis. The oasis isn't really a oasis. It's just this center of magic where anyone can do magic. Even, I believe, Shartep can do the littlest bit of magic in there, only if they're next to the oasis. So Kellen can only do magic when he's there, but it's not like amazing. So yeah, he hasn't broken any of his bands. He's about to do his mage trials, and you know, he doesn't want to be a Shartep because you don't really want to be a Shartep. So the book is basically about, well, more things happen, but it's basically about Kellen trying to find a way to get his magic back. Well, more specifically, trying to like con his way out of it and pretend he has magic. So that's what this book follows. Obviously there's a lot more stuff that happens, but like I said, I'm not going to go into spoilers or a complex detail of it, because by doing that I spoil things. I liked Kellen, who's the main character. It is first person, and he kind of reminded me of like a Percy Jackson type personality. He pretends he has magic by conning people into thinking he has it. Yeah, like he does like little tricks, or like little tricks of the mind to make you think he has magic to other people, because he doesn't really want to be deemed as a Shartep, because, you know, of course there's going to be bullies in this who, you know, treat him like scum and all of that jazz. While I did enjoy it, I think I would have liked it more if I was younger. I really do think Spellslinger would be a really good book for preteens or teens. Obviously, age is just a number, and if this book has sparked your interest and you're like 50, that's okay, read it. Spellslinger, it's good. I am interested to read the second one. I hope the second one isn't more advanced, but has a bit more than the first one. If the second one is a bit different with plot-wise, because this was pretty steady, the plot. It was pretty like gradual slope. But if the second one's like woohoo, I think I'll enjoy it more. But if it goes with like the same tone and pace, I don't think I would like it, because it made sense of the first one being it like that, to get your grasp of characters and how these people work and how they're like, because they're not that great. That's my review of Spellslinger. Not really a review, if you'd call it a review, what the hell. I liked it, it was good. I'd give it 4 stars out of 20. No, I'm joking. 4 stars out of 5. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. Like, nothing in this book made me not like it, you know? So yeah, that's my review. I hope you enjoyed it. And yes, I shall see you again soon.